Coming at you from the Steel City, you're listening to Poor Man's Podcast, Pittsburgh's premier comedy podcast. Your weekly dose of humor, hosted by Chris Hopper and with a new special guest each week. And here's your host, Chris Hopper.
Woo! Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Poor Man's Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Along with me, as always, the beautiful Shaylee baby. Shay, how are you doing this fine evening?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm so happy for you to be here.
I know. I'm so excited.
But not as happy as I am for your cohort, the Egghead. Egghead's back in studio, everybody, and not in jail. Yet.
Yeah.
Glad to be back.
We're excited to have you back. We have a big show. We have guest Thomas Farley coming in.
Yes.
Huevos Rancheros of Instagram fame. We're going to get into talking about him, talking about movies, talking about memes, talking about his Instagram memes. They're very, very funny. But he's also been in film. We're going to ask him about that. I'm very interested in knowing behind-the-scenes things.
BTS. I'm very excited
because I've been watching some amateur films,
right,
and I feel like people don't know how to use their hands in amateur films like they do in real films.
Yeah.
I want to see if they coach them up on that.
That's actually a really good question. When I think about it, I'm kind
Shay,
of like,
it's a great question.
This,
Yes.
like a hand. What's the movie? What's the movie where he's like, I don't know what to do with my hand?
I don't know.
Is it Anchorman or it's some Will Ferrell movie? I think.
Talladega Nights.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised you've seen a movie, Shay.
Honestly, me too.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, me too.
So we're gonna have him in here. And he's in commercials and some stuff. I'm really interested. And he's really funny, so I'm just happy to have a funny guy in here. Before we get into too many other things, I'd like to thank Kelly's Riverside Saloon for giving away some T-shirts for us. Oh yeah, we're back on the camera. I always forget. Every week I forget, and then it dies. But
go Kelly's.
Yes, thank you to John Kelly and his staff for giving away. They had Poor Man T-shirts, Poor Man's Podcast T-shirts. Yes. I think it's called. They were giving them away at bingo at Kelly's. I believe Brett won, so congrats to Brett.
Brett.
Yeah.
Yes. Good job.
I dropped off 4 or 5 shirts. I'm pretty sure the staff hawked them all, which is cool because if the staff's wearing them, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, shout out to the staff though. Honestly, if you've never been to Kelly's, it's a fantastic experience. It's a lot of fun there.
It's always. I went on Friday for lunch just to get some poutine there, and there was a wedding going on. There was a wedding in the back of Kelly's. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
You should have did a little sneak peek pic.
Dude, there was a weird crew there at that time.
What, working or the wedding was the weird crew?
Both. The crew working was pretty good, but
oh my God.
there were definitely different cliques there. I mean, there was a Mormon table. Yeah, there looked like some social workers at one table.
Good for Kelly's though. That's good.
Yeah, I'm glad to see there was
I never thought of that.
A Mormon table at a saloon sounds a little ironic.
I don't know what they were there. They could have been. I don't know.
When were you there?
Friday afternoon. I went for lunch.
Friday afternoon. You're lucky I was at work because I would have been upset.
Yeah. Well, you know what I try to do is go to Papa, whatever the Papa barbecue. What's the barbecue?
Mission. Isn't it? No, it's one
no,
I always
dude. I said Papa Wood. Papa Wood is the barbecue place that was in Beaver, and I went. They opened at 11, and I started work at 11. I went there at 10:45.
Where was it at that point?
Right at the courthouse in Beaver.
Oh my! Where do they park?
At the courthouse in Beaver, man, in the yard, in the front.
In the yard?
Yeah, or whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you didn't tell me.
I sent you the thing. We're going to figure it out in the weeks to come.
I know. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to look at it now because I'll get way too excited and go. And I don't want to miss out on the experience with Chris being there with me.
Yeah, we're doing it together, Shay, unlike the Mattress Factory.
But you went there at 10:30. Cool.
To see if it was available. I knew it wouldn't be, man. I was doing my due diligence.
Right.
I would have grabbed something and dropped it off at your work on the way to my work.
Honestly, if you would have did that, I would have probably just sobbed. I would have been so happy.
How was your week, Shay? What did you do this week?
Work week was and I did drive to, what did I do on Saturday? Saturday I went to the Butler County Fair.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my friend's dad, he does tractor pulls, and he was pulling there. So
I feel like you've gone to a handful of tractor pulls in the last couple months.
I honestly
more than the average bear, for sure.
Yes. Well, not more than my friend.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Lyra goes there probably.
Tractor pull Lyra.
Tractor pull Lyra, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, she's well known in these parts.
I was not mentally there at all this weekend. So she was like, you know what? I'm coming to pick you up. I'm going to take you out.
You need a pull, man. Yeah.
I needed a pull. So I went and it was a lot of fun. Let me just say the Butler Fair is huge.
I heard that.
It's so big.
Where in Butler is it? Do you know?
I guess when I got there, I said, are we in Butler? And they said, yeah. And he said, is this like the heart of Butler? And they were like, yeah. Like,
okay, so it's kind of near the middle.
It's like, yeah, in Butler.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was
I don't know
fun.
Butler. I know where Cranberry is, and then I saw Hannibal Buress there in October at a drive-in. It was a drive-in stand-up event.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. His opening, Carshmello. We might have to leave a link for this guy. He's like, Marshmallow DJ guy?
Yes, of course.
He was like that, but he did just car-related humor.
Oh.
And he did a bunch of music with cars.
Okay, so that's like fun though. Was it fun?
It was fun, but it was about 40 minutes too long.
Okay.
Like, that's funny for like 7 minutes.
Okay.
And then it's not funny. And then it's funny again at like minute 16.
Okay, yeah.
Ironically.
And then
you're
You're like, now I'm past it.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to see Hannibal Buress.
I would like to hear it though for like 7 minutes only though. We're going to go.
I'm sure we'll look on YouTube and we'll get to it.
Yeah. And then I drove to Dayton yesterday. So I drove to Dayton.
Well, tell us more about this Butler Fair. Is it done for the year?
No.
Or is it something they do weekends for like a month, or I don't know anything about it?
I think that it just started. So I think that it's still going on right now.
So the listeners can still attend.
Listeners can still attend, yes. It's really nice. They had a lot of different food places. I was someone's child there, so they were paying for me, my friend Lyra. So I got chicken tenders, which I wouldn't have been my first choice.
How much were the chicken tenders there?
So we got 2 4-piece chicken tenders.
Oh, already 4 versus my 3-piece. Did it come with fries?
It did not come with fries. So we got 2 large fries, which come in these like nice sized buckets. Good. It was good. It was very filling. And we got 2 drinks. And it was $54.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
$54 on the dot.
I would have to take a shower after that raping.
I know.
Holy fuck.
That is rough.
That's obscene. What's the breakdown? So 54. So that's what, $27 a person?
Oh, and we got a corn dog.
Oh, well, okay, that's 54. Okay,
that makes
that,
sense.
yeah,
that
justifies it.
That's $40 right there.
That makes sense right there, yeah.
Lead with that, Shay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Other than the
honestly.
food, what were there? You said there were animals there? Are there rides?
Yeah, so there was actually like a ton of different, like, I don't even know what they're called. I call them like
horses?
Tunnels.
Okay.
Like the things that like all the animals are in.
Like a tent?
Like the long tents. Yeah, a tent. What's that? I never knew that word before.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of like different kinds of animals in there. Horses. There was a couple oxen, maybe. Oxen. Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oxen?
The live audience today is nodding in yes.
Okay. So
Shay's nervous with the live audience today.
I am. I barely know English now. So there was a bunch. Yeah, there was like goats and there was llamas and all kinds of stuff. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I got to pet a horse, which was really nice. And I got a picture. There was like a 1,500-pound ox. So got a picture of that. He was absolutely beautiful. I did put my hand very close to his face just to see if he would kind of interact with me. So even though it was very scary, but he did not interact with me.
Did he also did not attack me. Ignore you?
Yeah. But that was like, I call that a win. He did not.
Yeah, it could have ended a lot worse.
Yeah. Oh, and there was one that was laying down, and he almost kicked me. So that was, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm.
And Egghead, what do you have for the week coming up?
This weekend, it is Little Italy Days in Bloomfield. I wasn't able to find much on the specifics of what they're going to have there, but I've been there before, and it's a good time. They have a lot of, like, food vendors, wine. You know, obviously the theme is Italian.
And does that start on Thursday, I think I saw?
Yes, Thursday through Sunday.
Where's it at?
In Bloomfield, I believe, on Penn Avenue.
Yeah, I saw a picture for it. They, like, shut down the street. They have, like, a whole like, float of bocce.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Sounds Italian.
No, that
I
sounds
think they
good.
play with meatballs, actually.
Play with meatballs?
I think, yeah.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me.
That would be a good time.
Honestly, it would be. Are we going?
I'm going to, well, I don't know. I think I got my work schedule. I think I work Saturday morning, but that doesn't mean that you can't go without a Shay.
No, yeah. I would never go anywhere without you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is the mattress factory in Bloomfield now? Do we know?
You need to grow. up. You need to grow up.
Egghead, did you say you've been there before or no?
Yes, I have.
And it's worth going for everyone?
I think so. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Get a group of friends together, go get something to eat, have a couple drinks, just enjoy the atmosphere. There's a lot of people down there. Never a dull moment.
Bloomfield's always Little Italy's days is the time to go to Bloomfield for sure.
Definitely.
I've never even heard of that place, like Bloomfield.
Are you serious?
I swear to goodness.
Oh my God, dude! You gotta guess. Yeah, right by Lawrenceville. And
I
all
don't go anywhere. I don't go anywhere.
Well, we're gonna have to go then, Shay.
I agree. I want to see somebody play with meatballs.
Okay.
Honestly.
Well, I can't say for sure that'll happen, but there's definitely vendors.
Well, you
could
already got
throw
my
a
hopes
meatball,
up,
dude.
so.
Yeah, we'll start our own thing.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God! Yeah, let's do our own.
Juggle meatballs. You think we could do that?
I'm sure you're used to juggling a meatball, man.
I'm pretty sure I am.
All right.
I can do it.
Our guest is here, so we're not gonna delay any further.
Talk anymore.
Without further ado, I was trying to say like 4 different things and then I didn't, and I keep forgetting we have this camera on today. So, we had that last week and it failed miserably. So we have the mirror up. So.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll go well. But Thomas is in studio.
Oh,
we're gonna have him. We're gonna
excited.
take a break and then return with Thomas. So stay tuned, everyone.
I'm Danae from the Buffalo Tarot, and you're listening to Poor Man's Podcast.
And welcome back to Poor Man's Podcast. We had that drop from last week. Lovely
I miss
Danae.
her already.
And this week we have her counterpart, Thomas. Thomas, welcome to the studio.
¿Cómo está? Hello. I am Thomas.
We are happy to have you here.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
I told everyone you make memes on your Huevos Rancheros. The O's are zeros. Follow him on Instagram. They are all very, very funny.
Thank you.
Absolutely agree.
I appreciate that.
How did you get into making memes?
Depression.
To start with that. We'll break the ice with that one.
Depression.
Yeah. I thought you said good question.
No.
Depression. Okay.
Yeah. I was in a very low place in my life, and posting funny pictures and getting reactions and validation from people made me happier. And then it just blossomed into what it is today.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. I feel like a lot of people that get into humor do it as a way to
cope.
To cope or to combat whatever kind of
Yes.
depression thing. I'm speaking for myself, even.
I agree.
If I can't handle that, I better make a joke or something.
I needed an outlet.
Yeah.
And that was the only one that was available to me. I moved to PA, and there was no, didn't do stand-up, do movies, so that was it.
So where are you originally from?
Oakland, California.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Born and raised there. Then Bay Area, then Montana, then out here.
Oh,
wow.
You picked some good places. Where in Montana?
Red Lodge, Montana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Jess, producer Jess of the show, she's traveling out west now. She was just in Montana and then Idaho. I think she's in Washington now. But Montana is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's one of my
Yes.
favorite places. I consider that like my second home. Like really.
Yeah. I was there in Whitefish, like up by Glacier,
That's
and just
amazing.
the air there.
Yeah.
It's so crisp.
Isn't
it's
it
so
crazy
clean.
that you can say that? Like, you literally can compare air from place to place.
And
it's
it's-
amazing.
And it's like really, literally big sky country.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll never see any sky like that. Ever.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
It's so
Is it flat? Is it flat out there?
What, the mountains
Only
range?
eastern, only
need to grow
eastern
up.
Montana is flat.
Yeah.
And disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells like cow poop. The entire place.
I believe
But
it.
all Western Montana is that's like equivalent to Switzerland. It's amazing, gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is. I think it's
Wow.
5,000 plus elevation from sea level. And when I was in I think it's the Rocky Mountains there,
Yeah.
and Glacier, and just you don't understand how huge these mountains are until
Yeah.
you really see
Yeah,
them.
and then you come out here and they're like the Poconos or the mountains. You're like, those are hills. I
Yeah.
mean, you sound like a snob, but
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
They're hills.
Yeah, they really are. It's nothing
Yeah.
even remotely close. And then when you stand next to it, it's just
Like
overwhelming.
breathtaking. Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
And on
that's
mushrooms,
amazing.
it's even more.
I believe that as well,
It's
man.
true.
That is so funny.
Oh,
That's
so how
amazing.
long have you been in Pennsylvania?
Man, I came out to Pennsylvania in 2008.
Okay.
And I unexpectedly had a child. So went from LA to the Philadelphia area. And I was like, what just happened?
I can relate to that as well. I feel like from the moment I heard my oldest son was going to be born, my life hasn't been the same. It's been a blur.
Yeah, it was a blessing. I mean, my daughter saved my life. I would be dead, definitely. But
she's beautiful.
Thank you.
She's very, very beautiful.
She is.
Yeah, Thomas. I mean, from what I've seen around you a few times, you're an awesome dad. Your kids, all the girls in your life seem to enjoy you quite a bit.
I know.
All the girls in your life. You have 3 daughters and a fiance.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I'm very lucky. I'm fortunate, but I mean, it's nothing new in terms of being around that many females. I had 7 aunts growing up. I had 3 sisters.
I thought we were going somewhere else completely different with that.
No, he bangs all his aunts.
Yeah, it's true. That's how it goes. But no.
How else would it go?
Honestly,
I'm not from the South.
You're from out west, and so that's what I want to get into because you know movies, film. Did you go to film school?
I did.
That's what Danae was saying.
And acting school. I went to both. And
what do you like more? What's your favorite part about the film part? Because you see actors.
I hate both actually.
Oh, really?
After this amount of time, I've grown. So in film, I loved film. Then you go to film school, and they just rip it apart and make you loathe it. You have a guy with a PhD in film telling you that Jaws allegorically represents rape in Vietnam. And you're like, no, it's about a shark. And then you get an F, and you're like, I hate this. This sucks.
You're wrong.
And then you go to acting school, and then they're like, no, you can't talk like that. You have to talk like this, and you have to walk like this. And they don't like originality. Most acting schools do that, but a couple that I went to actually promote you to be yourself, and that's great. I just found that late in the game. I went to 4 different colleges.
Yeah.
But I like to perform, but I also like to make. So I like to do both. When I produced and wrote this, a couple things, I loved doing that.
Yeah.
It's not work. It's like this
is
not work for you.
Yeah.
And you're doing it all day long, but the adrenaline's going because you love doing it. That's what I like doing.
Right. So. Yeah, but your concept of time gets definitely skewed.
Right. So I've done it all. When I went out to LA after I graduated, they don't teach you how to get work. You have to find that out for yourself. So I did every job that you could possibly do behind the lens and then in front of. So I've kind of done it all.
Are you seeing more? I mean, now with everybody having a phone and a camera, and the camera's on our phone. We're shooting on the phone right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not shooting a Hollywood film.
Right.
But it gets the job done, and it's a lot better than anyone's camera maybe
absolutely.
20 years ago.
No, totally. Yeah. I think right now what you're struggling with the hardest for me anyway is actually getting motivated to really do it. Because there's so much and it's so easy to do it that it turns me off and I'm like, oh man, I don't want to do it. But it's really easy. You know, you can make a movie on a Kindle.
Well, maybe that's not always a good, because now that everyone can do it, everyone does do it. And then it's oversaturated and then when everyone does it, that's like when we started this.
It's content. Yeah. That's what is hard to find. Something that's worth going, dude,
and
that's
unique
it.
Yeah, and you just have to weed out so much more, I guess, because it's like you said, it's just flooded.
When we started doing this podcast 10 years ago or something, and we stopped doing it because, I mean, we were going through college and high school or whatever for whoever it was.
Right.
But when we started doing it, not everyone had a podcast. Now it seems like everybody has a podcast. The radio has a podcast. There's a podcast reaction show to the podcast.
That's a good analogy because podcasts, I have no idea about, and there's so many. And people go, do you listen to this? I'm like, I don't even know where to start. And I don't have the attention span to sit down and listen to people talk about something that I have not passionate about. I don't have the attention span for it. So that's really hard for me to like pick one and to listen to. Yeah. So
I agree with that a lot. I think that's why it's so good, not to interrupt. I think it's good that like we're constantly talking about like new things. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the same like a series kind of thing, or like a follow-up. You know what I mean? It's like we're constantly doing something new. We're constantly talking about something new. We constantly have somebody new. Somebody new.
If someone tells me to listen to a podcast, I'm not going to listen to it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. And the only way I will, the only couple I have is if they have a guest that I actually really like.
Well, that's why I'm inviting people on. I'm getting one new listener at a time because they have to be on it for them to listen to it.
Exactly.
I like this because it's like, you're about Pittsburgh. And I like that. I think that's cool. cool. I want to know more about Pittsburgh.
That's what we were trying to do.
Yep,
we were trying to find an angle because we were all I always wanted to do something that was funny. But like, if you do just the funny show, nobody wants to listen to the funny show.
Right.
And just
right.
200 other ones.
Yeah.
Like,
so let's try to do a Pittsburgh show, and let's try to make it the funniest Pittsburgh show that we can do. Exactly. So we'll find something, we'll review something.
I've already listened to your show a couple times, and it's 10 times better than anything I've heard on Pittsburgh radio. And
thank you.
I hate to rip Pittsburgh radio, but it's awful. Like, there's no good music that's like worth listening to.
Right. Yeah.
And I could say that about the majority of radio stations across America.
You have your classic rock, or then oldies, and then and then the new stuff is like Imagine Dragons, and I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, no.
And then
it's commercials.
Yeah.
That's how they get paid.
I hear more about Matt Mertz than anyone else in the world, man.
So true.
And nothing against Matt Mertz. Like, if he wants to sponsor the Poor Man's Podcast, we can hear about him again. But
honestly, if you want us to give you a chance to like redeem yourself,
he's the best Mertz in the business. Shay, have you heard that?
Honestly, I have.
We've already discussed that slogan. I hate that slogan. But Thomas, I have a lot of questions for you about just like when you were coming. I knew you were coming in, and I just wanted to know like the lighting in here, how like stuff like that. So I have questions about stuff you've done. You showed me a few of the things you've done. Was it a music video you were in? It was really interesting.
Yeah, I wrote and directed that, or wrote and produced it. I didn't direct it.
Okay.
And I starred in it, and that was really fun. I loved doing that. That was amazing.
Music videos seem like it would be a fun thing to do, and you don't have to devote. Now,
if you're
I
in
guess
charge,
it's who you're working with.
If you're in charge. I've worked as a PA in LA on numerous music videos, and they're awful. Because you have basically no money.
Yeah.
You have a producer and a director who think that they're gangsters, but they're not, and you're dealing with big talent who think they're big shit. And they're it's bad, and you're there all day long and you get paid nothing.
Right.
But it's experience.
Well, yeah, I guess that's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah.
I know when we're doing this, it's not going to bring in revenue right away or stuff, but you got to do it just to be interested, and you're getting the experience.
What makes you happy, you will become successful at it.
Right.
But I'm saying, I think a lot of people go into this. Maybe they'll look at doing something and say, "Oh, there's no money in it for me right away. Why do that?" And I think you do have to.
You got to do it.
You have to. You learn from that being a PA or whatever. Maybe you're not making a bunch of money, but you learn things that you wouldn't have done.
Every time I was on
Did
set,
you learn
even
more
as an
on
extra,
that or in school?
You're learning. Oh no, it definitely in on set.
Yeah.
I say don't go to film school. Don't go to acting school. I don't. I mean, you really want to learn, you got to get out there and go. Work for free for a little bit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You have
to
do it.
I learned more
and
being a post-production assistant than I ever did in film school.
Okay, yeah.
So
that's like, and you'll hear that from bartenders around here. I went to bartending school, and I get thrown under the bus for that, which you don't need to. You absolutely. No. If you want me to make a martini from the 40s, I can.
What am I going to look at? You worked at 40 bars, or you went to a school?
Yeah.
Who am I going to hire?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So one thing I noticed, because I just noticed weird things, and when I knew you were coming on, I wanted to ask you. Now, in the music video, there's a scene where you're throwing up. How is that? Do they just give you stuff to put in your mouth?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It
was so realistic because
he
did the double pump on the throw up.
Trust me, I got it down to a science. And I made it look so real that when they replayed it, the cast and crew almost threw up. They thought it was so disgusting. It was strawberry milk and oatmeal.
That's awesome. That's what I wanted to know.
I can hold a lot in my mouth and keep it closed. But it's all about the
absolutely.
You got to get the it's coming up part. That's what makes it real. Because if you see it in the beginning, I'm starting to see it coming up, and then the double pump. But it was. Thank you.
You have to realize that you're going to throw up, and then you're like, oh shit. Okay, I have to tell myself I'm not throwing up, and I'm throwing up.
We shot that guerrilla style, and that was like right off the A train in Philly, and all these people were coming off, and they saw me doing that, and it was like an everyday thing for them. They didn't give a shit. But
oh, that's happening.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, and I've noticed other things like that, like when people are filming things. They don't put like liquid in the cups and stuff.
They do, but like for example, beer. You could even hear it when they put it down. It's definitely water.
Okay,
you know what I mean. There's a very rarely it's fizzy.
Yeah, right.
You'll see people take a sip of bourbon. You never see them actually like give that like.
Yeah.
Because you're drinking apple juice.
Yeah.
But. or even seeing the legs. I always look for those, see if they're really drinking booze, and none of them really will. Plus, I think it's illegal to actually drink real alcohol on television and movies and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
I believe that because if
I
you
never knew that.
If you ever
on
watch
TV, like on talk shows,
Yeah.
and if they ever drink booze, it's not booze.
Yeah. Well, not even in
this
beer
is
commercials they
apple
have
juice.
people drinking.
No.
If you watch a beer commercial, they're never drinking the beer in the beer. They'll hold it,
Right.
but they don't drink it.
Drink it. I've never noticed that before. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would want to be drinking it.
No, actually, you don't because you're working. It's not. I've tried it.
Yeah,
I've tried
and you
it
probably
all.
have to take however many takes to where you'd be pretty screwed up.
Totally.
Yeah.
The McDonald's commercial, I had a hamburger and they had 5 artists working on it, and I was like, can I swallow this? They're like, it's edible, but here's a McDonald's
Quote
spit bucket.
quote.
That's what I tell people who come in the restaurant about. We have edible orchids, and you can't eat them, but they're gross.
Yeah.
So do they paint the bird? Because
Yes.
I watched
They have
videos.
an artist that's a mustard artist. They have an artist that works specifically on to hold it a certain way.
Oh my
Every time I take a
gosh.
bite of it, they all came 5 people. You know, it was
Like,
pretty
let me
interesting.
think. It's like literally makeup for the burger.
Yeah, they paint their burger with like olive oil. And
I saw a video on Facebook or something where it was like the pizza in the pizza commercial. It's like glue mixed with
Yes.
something else
Totally.
to have
I've
the
seen
cheese
that.
stringy.
I seen like the thing where like when they pour like beer and stuff like that, like how they make the foam so thick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like Dawn dish soap and something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so. Or like, have you seen the one where they make things look steamy? They like microwave a wet tampon.
No.
Yeah.
No,
See
I
that
haven't seen
one?
that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they like throw it behind the plate. It's like
Steamy
steamy.
tampon.
It's a tampon.
The steamy tampon.
Steamy
Delicious.
tampon.
It's like a dive bar in Myrtle Beach.
smells like
what it
bologna
is.
for some reason.
Let me ask you: do you, if you guys have any questions, please chime in, Egghead and Shay. I don't want to hog all the
absolutely.
questions, but I
No.
do have a question about
You're
the
doing
memes
great.
that you're doing.
You're doing fantastic.
I see when people are writing songs, you could write the lyrics, or you could write the music and then put the lyrics with it. Do you find a picture and then put the words with it, or do you find a joke and then think, I need to find a picture that goes with that?
Both, but you know,
Chicken and the egg.
it's there's like, to me there's really no science really.
Yeah.
Like what I love to do is I like to find a picture that is like really thought provoking and weird, and
Yeah.
then I like putting words on top of it, and then I like writing a little caption about what I said, and then that's it. And the less I think about it, the more successful it becomes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I believe it. It's
The
what?
more
It's just like
I
a
think
guttural
about it, I'm like,
response.
oh man, this is gonna be amazing. There's a play on this play, and oh man, this reference here.
Yeah.
Like 10
People
people,
don't
get
get
it.
it.
But those 10 people, they're like, dang, that killed.
Yeah.
But everyone else is like, they want, piss, fart, and shit. I mean,
That makes sense.
they don't want to think about it. In their day
Yeah.
has been doing work all day. They want
Yeah.
to look at something
Yeah.
that just is
They can read in a
plain,
second and a
shitted
half.
farted. All right,
Yeah.
that makes me laugh.
I just looked at a meme with that. You
Yeah.
had Brandon Fraser.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and that man, that was I haven't written a meme in I don't know, about a month and a half, because that was
I
my
laughed
last
out loud
one.
at that.
I know. Well, I was really proud of that one. I was, and so I was really proud of that one. And then what happens is I'm private. My account's private.
Okay.
And I don't follow that many big accounts. I call them cattle call meme accounts. They just churn out
Oh, okay.
meme after meme, and they take them from all sorts of people, and they will only give you credit if you get a bunch of people saying, "Hey, credit this guy." Well, there's this one big account, and
Carlos Memesia.
no, but that guy does steal jokes.
You see the meme though? The rabbit.
No, I haven't. But anyway, I posted it, and then
We hate
about
that guy.
maybe 10 minutes later, it's on this major
Yeah.
6 million followers, and
Yeah.
it's mine.
Yeah.
And he doesn't follow me. And this has happened multiple times, and he even stole my caption.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
wow. That's.
Yes.
That's insulting
low,
to
bro.
me.
And it blows my mind because the people who run that account, they all follow me. All of the admins followed me on their personal accounts.
Yeah.
But they won't follow me on their meme accounts. And then all of a sudden, all my memes are
Yeah.
on their pages. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So I removed them from following
Yeah.
me, and it still happens. So I was like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
They have ghost accounts
Yeah.
that are following me and
course.
taking them
Absolutely.
off. So I called the guy out on it, and I was like, hey, man, I wrote on underneath my meme, I was like, do you have a ghost account? Like, why do you not follow me from here?
Yeah.
Is it because of clout? And a bunch of people responded to it. And then the guy who actually runs that account DM'd me and insulted me.
Oh.
Wow.
And he was like, let me just read this to you.
Yeah.
I don't even run the page, LOL. You can always DM us if you want a free promo. Hilarious you think I run all these accounts and my objective is to steal your shitty memes. You're welcome for the shout out. I just told him to block you. Good work.
Oh, wow.
Oh
So
my God.
I did not insult this guy once just by even asking, do you follow me from a ghost account? I don't understand. Why don't you follow me? Clout? And that's what happens. So that guy's an asshole.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
That doesn't even
clearly.
make sense.
And it turned me off about the whole thing. I was like, why am I making these things to make people laugh? Yes. Make to myself laugh? Yes. But this guy steals my memes and gets paid a shitload of money to sell Bud Light Seltzer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's...
And then has the nerve to call it shitty. Like, if it's shitty, why would you
Why
take
do you
it?
have
Exactly.
it? Yeah.
You can't
Caption
even dispute
included.
that. If it's on your thing, then it must not be shitty.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I was like, what? I don't even, what? I just, fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, and
It's just, it's not even worth, like, coming up
then on the
with.
other
And
hand,
it does. It just
I get,
sours you on the whole
I
thing.
meet somebody online and they're like, hey, you know, will you promote me? And it's a cool service.
Yeah.
And it's local. And
Yeah.
that really, like, you know, turned it around for me. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh Heli, they reached out to me.
Okay, yeah.
And this guy, like, owns this hangar down at Allegheny Airport. It's really cool. It's a small little airport.
I've seen it. Were they doing the rides for the veterans?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was like, you know, you shout me out, I'll give you a free helicopter ride. And I did.
Oh, shit.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
He didn't insult your shit?
Fly all over Pittsburgh, up above it, all around Pittsburgh Heli. I mean, it's amazing. That guy is an awesome guy, and I'm proud to sponsor him.
Is that something anyone can do? You just sign up for?
Yeah.
Is it like
Go
a 2-person?
Check out their website. You get 3 people.
Yeah.
You know, they fly you all around, and then they're opening this new thing where you fly around in like a Cessna. It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. Pittsburgh
That's
Heli. Check 'em out.
amazing.
And how long are the trips? I mean, I know you're
Like
not,
20
yeah.
minutes, and
no, that's
depending
cool,
if there's like a
Wow.
baseball game, you can fly right over the city and you can check it all out. I mean, Pittsburgh's an amazing city. I fell in love with this place, and I never ever, ever thought about Pittsburgh until I met Danae. And we met halfway, and we're like, let's go to Pittsburgh, and we're like, this place is amazing, and I love it here. I'm telling you, like, I've been to a lot of places in the country, and this place is one of the most unique places because the amount of people is less than the size of the city. So trust me, because you go to Philly, you go to any other city, there's so
It's like
many
overbooked.
people.
Yeah.
Overbooked.
And
right.
when we first came here, it was on St. Patrick's Day, and we drove around. And I was
Yeah.
like, we're driving around, and there's no traffic.
Yeah.
And the people here are all real straightforward, and I love that. You know, you get
Yeah.
that. You don't get that everywhere.
Yeah,
No, you don't.
That's awesome here because there's a lot of people, and Egghead and I have grown up in Pittsburgh our entire lives. And there's, like, growing up, it's like, Pittsburgh sucks. I can't wait to get out of Pittsburgh. And
That's because they
I
probably
get
live
that.
in Ambridge.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Which I think has got a lot of personality, but I don't know if I would want to grow up there as a kid.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's got charm.
Yeah, charm.
Its own type
Charm's
of charm.
one of those key words.
Heroin.
That's what charm is for sure.
That's funny.
But yeah, growing up, there's a ton of people that just like they're like, oh, I can't.
They always
wait to
come
leave
back,
this.
though, dude.
They always
They
do.
do.
That's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Is they always do.
Yeah.
The grass is always greener, and I'm not like, oh, diehard Pittsburgh. Oh, you have to
This
bleed
is
it.
the first place
but
that reminded
people
me-
should travel, and then you
I
can
agree.
see what you
You'll
do
see
have,
what's
and
good.
yeah,
exactly.
But like just like you were saying last week about going to the Overlook,
yeah.
like people take that for granted. Like, I mean, that's something small compared to what.
Well, I'm
Pittsburgh
trying to do
offers
that
is
now.
really,
Hotel in The
but that's
Shining.
amazing.
I took my brother, who's in his mid-20s, to Mount Washington. He's lived here his whole life and never been here.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So,
that's right. Yeah.
So I'm trying to get
it's
real
beautiful up there, but those are the things
real
people take for
cliche
granted.
Pittsburgh pictures. I'm
Yes.
trying to do that now. And like kind of making a joke out of it, like
Yeah.
this is where everyone does it, but it's also everyone does it because it's beautiful.
I agree.
Yeah, it's got
Right.
the most bridges out of any of the cities in the country,
Yeah,
I think. And
absolutely.
It's got the steepest road in the country. I mean, I read about all this stuff when I first moved here. I was like, oh, I got to go check that out.
Yeah.
And the food is crazy. And, you know, this is the first place it actually reminded me of the Bay Area.
The Needles in Ambridge again.
Yeah. No. You reminded me of like the Bay Area, Oakland and San Francisco and everything. It's just a smaller version. I mean, you have so much culture here, amazing food. You know, the rivers kind of make it feel like there's an ocean near.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's nice hearing somebody who didn't grow up here enjoy it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I do. I just like because the people. I mean, the people really make it. Yeah, the aesthetics are nice, but the people here, I've found every single person I've ever met here is straightforward and good people.
Yeah.
I haven't met any terrible people, and I have met terrible people everywhere I've ever been.
On the rap video site. Well, Shay, do you have a question for Thomas?
I
thought you said you did.
No, I was just saying that I think that all the questions that you're asking is really great. I've never thought about like the things, like I know that Chris picks up on a lot of things, like he can find details and like little random things. I'm not really that person. I just find it very, very fascinating completely. So I don't really have any like particular questions. I just think it's really cool what you've been able to experience and what you've been able to do.
Yeah,
I think that's something that not a lot of people.
My Instagram
can say.
account has opened a lot of doors for me, which is really weird. I was friends with Joe Jonas for a long time, and then I got free tickets to his concert here in Pittsburgh, backstage. You know, I got to meet Nick Jonas. I didn't get to meet Joe though. No, but it's weird because we talked for so long. And then he had a kid, and then he unfollowed me, which is understandable because I was making a lot of terrible jokes. I mean, I understand if you unfollow me. I'm not hurt about that. I have Mormon brothers and sisters that follow me on there.
I think people need to understand when something is in the name of humor to grade it on a different curve.
People won't understand.
I know they don't, because everyone has to be outraged about everything all the time.
Well, and humor is not legal anymore.
Oh my God, right. That was such a good way to put it because it really isn't. People get offended
free
by
comedy. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Free comedy legal.
Oh my gosh. It's insane.
That's why people go to stand-up comedy. They want raw, straight truth, unfiltered.
Yeah.
That's what they want. That's what's funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I don't want somebody sitting there thinking, "Oh, I better not say this."
I'm going to offend you. Or
I want to be offended.
Right.
Yes.
You know, I want to hear real shit.
Yeah. I think that's the price. That's the risk you run.
And I'm not out there to offend people. I know that I'm gonna.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to.
The right audience.
You have to get you have to get close to the line, and maybe people don't like when you go over it, but
I'm pretty.
You got to get pretty close to that line.
And I'm pretty raunchy.
Yeah.
And
like
you can take it. There's only so much I can take too. Yeah. I'm like, I want to unfollow me. You know what I mean?
I could see if you were like hammering one thing though, but like people need to.
I was hammering masturbation for a while there. I was.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
My fiance was like, you have a lot of sex with me, and most of your jokes about jerking off. Like, really? And I'm like, oh, you're right.
Yeah. Believe me, there's always time.
There is. There's always time.
You got to drive there. I mean, come on.
You got to get the poison out somehow.
Yeah.
I can't relate. I can't.
I was gonna write about. I had a note about stealing memes, but you covered that. How did you get? And you were talking about your commercials. You did a McDonald's one. I saw you in a Pittsburgh or a Pennsylvania lottery. Yeah. Right. Did you meet Gus?
The goldfish. That was fun.
Yeah, I had to pretend to talk to Gus.
How do they do that? Is it just there's just like here's this bag, or do they give you a prop?
It's everything you think it is. You walk into a room and there's a casting director. They're not even looking at you. Yeah. They're looking at you through a screen, and they go, "Okay, so dance monkey," and go, and then you're like, "Oh, Gus, you're hilarious." Yeah. And then they go, "Okay, let's try that again. Try it more brighter," and then you're like, "Brighter."
Yeah.
Like I kept getting that of doing the radio thing, which was really hard. That was my only radio job, and you can hear like your heartbeat in that booth, and you can hear that.
Oh my!
And then you have two producers in like New York and LA who are listening in on you, and they can hear. and so then they say, "Okay, you try it, but brighter now," and you're like. Okay, and then you just, what do you think brighter is? Egghead? And why do they call you that?
Chris can probably explain it better than I could.
When
honestly.
Your head looks very beautiful. I have an egghead.
Egghead as in like the old school, like you're a brainiac. You're an egghead.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we're bringing that back.
Which I believe the original name of the podcast before Poor Man's Podcast was Chris and the Egghead.
It was Chris and the Egghead, yeah. It sounds like a morning show. Like the wacky Chris and the
I'm
egg.
kind of disappointed because my head is a size 8, and that's pretty big.
Yeah, I'm probably about a 7.5, but
yeah, I feel like I'm up. Well,
these are weird things for you guys to just like know. Like I know that's a normal thing for men to know because like hats and stuff, but or like sports.
My head is huge.
But like, I would have no idea
about
what
bra
size my
sizes and
head.
stuff. You know, I
can look at a female and tell you what size.
This is the
bra
only
you
thing
wear.
we got, and our waist or chest.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
that's
literally
it,
certified in bra fitting. Like I have my name on a wall that is a certificate
I'm in
for bra fitting.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I might be pushing a B.
Yeah. But
My only certificate, I have a bartending certificate, and then I have one from Scotland that certifies me as a lord.
Nice.
You are
I'm
a lord.
I'm a Dudas priest. I'm certified Dudas priest. Yeah, I actually married some friends.
Were they at Kelly's on Friday?
No.
That's a callback to something earlier.
That would have been hilarious. I would have died.
Oh my god, that would have been awesome if you came in.
I would have died.
What are you supposed to wear? I mean, is there traditional garb for that?
I had the same question, And I was like, I'm just gonna wear my robe. Is that cool? And they're like,
robe?
yeah, if you could wear something.
Do you have a
else.
rope belt?
A robe. You know what a Dudas priest is? Dudism.
Oh
It's
yeah,
all based
from
on
the
the
Big
Big
Lebowski.
Yeah,
I have a Lebowski poster right there. You have to
religion.
look. Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm a Dudas priest. I'm a
Well then you
certified
have to
Dudas
wear the sweater.
I have it. I have
Okay,
it. I have that, and I have.
You have to perform it on the rug.
Jellies. I don't have jellies.
Yeah. Oh, do they make those?
Yeah, they do, but I don't know. Size 13 is hard to come by.
Yeah.
They make
These are things
jelly
that I think
Crocs.
you're so smart about. Like I just like get in awe when I'm like, how did he know that?
What a dude is! It's
Like-
from the Big Lebowski, man.
You don't understand. Like I know, it's freaky. I know all about movies and comedy, and then paint, and
I think
that's
that's what he knows.
I know nothing
No,
else.
I don't know paint.
Well, not paint. Not paint.
Those are my 2
Well,
categories.
those are the things I like, and then I know things about like food service because I have to know that, or about drink. Well, I like drinking.
No,
but
you know so many random things. Like
Yeah.
it's so crazy. Or maybe I'm just
it's
that
more of a
dumb.
hindrance because then I just notice things, then think about them all day, and then I'm like, "Why'd you throw up the right way? That was amazing."
I think I'm definitely on the scale of autism.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. So I definitely specialize in certain.
I think there's a
things.
whole spectrum on this side of the table.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I agree. I'm
Yeah.
not saying I agree.
Okay.
That I've learned from experience. If Shay does not agree, then that means you're on the right path.
Grow up.
All right.
So, how does one get into commercials? Do you just go in for the audition, or is that?
You. I
mean, I guess obviously,
it helps to have an agent.
Yeah.
An agency, but you now that everything's doing Zoom auditions, you can submit yourself and do all that. But I mean, I can't do that.
I feel like that would be so much
It
easier.
is, but like I said, I'm legally.
Okay.
I can't sit in front of a computer and do that. I need someone else.
Yeah.
I would.
How are you going to know how to brighten your voice if you do it in front of a computer?
That's about direction. You want you get good directors, but most directors, like when you do commercials, they're awful. You read a script, you get it the day before, and then you got to go in and you have to forget everything you've learned. You can't go, okay, so Pringles, okay, so where's my motivation here? So I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Okay, and so once you pop, you can't stop. No, you can't do that. You got to dumb yourself down. Once you pop, you can't stop. That's it. The dumber you are and the less that you do,
Like
the more
infomercial?
successful you will be. The dumber you are and the more successful you make it,
Yeah.
the more successful you'll become. That's the sad truth.
Yeah.
You're dealing with commercials.
Yeah. That does make sense when you watch commercials because everybody's an idiot in it.
Oh, absolutely.
I wonder if that's
Absolutely.
like to make the viewer feel smarter about themselves and like.
There's definitely deep psychology about it, which is really gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I hate progressive insurance. I will.
Here we go.
I literally will lose my shit every single time. See, let me get this.
I was just about to ask about
Let me put
this.
this on the table here. Okay, so I'm very passionate, and while I auditioned and did commercials in LA, I never ever watched TV.
Okay.
And then I moved to Pennsylvania, and I step out of that, and I watch TV and I see commercials, and I remember getting so irate watching TV at my ex-in-laws' house that they're like, are you okay? I'd get irate at these commercials because they would physically piss me off.
Okay.
Especially progressive. And I go, that's their angle. They want you to get angry and pissed off, and then you won't forget them.
I want to know
That's
which
what I
one you
was
hate
thinking,
the most.
especially like the wet teddy bears that
We're talking about them right now.
Yeah.
We're saying their name right now.
But we did a
rating.
countdown of
Yeah.
insurance commercials. The wet teddy bear one was awful. But I'm saying, why is Progressive worse than Geico or State Farm? I hate State Farm because they have Aaron Rodgers.
I can't stand Flo. And that little ginger that's in that commercial, I did commercials with him a long time ago. And so I'm a little bit bitter, a little bit pissed off.
Okay. I knew there would be a reason, like a deep one.
Yeah,
and this ties into your question about the characters in movies.
Okay.
Because...
Okay, that's what I'm going to get into. I wanted to... It's so weird you hit both of those without me asking.
I know.
I was going to ask you about the commercials because I thought Progressives were better than some of the other ones, but I think all the commercials... I think the Gecko is annoying as shit.
I hate Geico, but listen.
Yeah.
Geico is my insurance, and they have been the best thing I've ever had to deal with ever. They are so polite and easy, and they will basically do whatever you need them to do.
Yeah.
And I love that. I hate that little Geico. I worked in a production company where they edited those commercials, and all I would hear is, "Oh, you know, it was car insurance, Geico car insurance, Geico car." To the point where I was like, "Oh my god," you know. But you know, the Flo dude. Oh my god.
What's the redhead's name? What is his name?
Jamie.
Jamie.
Or something. I don't remember.
I did a Castadores commercial with him, and he was the star, and I was like the second guy. And I remember just looking at him like, "Why this little guy right here? Why him?
He's got it."
No,
I'm kidding.
What? No.
I'm kidding.
He's gonna throw his headphones on and be like,
size 24 waist, maybe. But I asked Thomas about that in the middle of the week, and I was like, I forgot to ask Danae, and I don't know if I did ask Chandler. He was the guest before.
Yeah.
About your most hated movie character. Now it's not who is the worst or whatever. You know, Hitler was in a movie. He's bad.
But an actual character.
An actual character. Now, I have my top 3 that I didn't tell him I was going to tell him on here. But for an example, I used the Asian kid from the second Temple of Doom. Short round.
Dr. Jones.
Yeah. I hate him. I hate him.
So you hate him in Goonies?
I never saw...
You've never seen Goonies?
I saw the beginning, but I missed the window.
No, he's amazing. I love that guy.
I believe it, but in that movie, he's awful.
But in the movie, who he plays in the movie, I think that's what
not the actor, but
no, he's annoying.
Yeah, not the actor himself.
My top 3. Number 3 is.
I love this conversation.
Is Donner from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Trash.
Okay.
Rudolph's dad.
Okay.
Have you seen it? He treats Rudolph like shit.
Okay.
He's an awful dad.
Okay.
Number 2. Grandpa Joe, Willy Wonka.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he's the biggest piece of shit of all time.
Okay.
How are you crippled?
That is so sad.
He's literally the biggest.
He's the biggest.
You're not.
He funded Al Qaeda back in the 80s. And,
honestly, believable.
I believe it, man.
Believable.
I think he ran a human trafficking thing for him. He's one of those guys you look at and you can just immediately smell pee.
Oh my god, yeah. No, that's actually true. And like him, like Grandpa Joe
and
himself.
he has a coke nail in that movie, by the way.
Does he?
Yes. They zoom in and he's holding. He has a coke nail.
Good.
The dude is, you know.
Him and Rick James, man.
Yeah.
And then number 1, Jenny from Forrest Gump. I hate
she's
her.
also second runner of biggest piece of shit of all time.
Okay, good. Now,
wait, he said second runner. So who's his first runner?
Well, no, I think I do hate Grandpa Joe, and I do, but those are givens.
Okay.
You know,
what are you going with?
I'm so excited.
So to answer your question, I have a 2-parter.
Okay, good.
So to answer your question straightforward, I would have to say Sharon Stone in Casino, because
I picked Ginger.
Ginger. Okay.
Yeah. Was that the character that she
played?
Okay,
yes.
yeah, I think so.
Dude,
that was my choice. She was a terrible mother.
Oh my god, she was an amazing actress because I hated her so bad. Everything she did in that movie was awful.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Sick.
Yeah, the character. She was brilliant as an actress, but
absolutely.
The character. So that way that she was written was terrible, you know. Okay, then so I'm a little bit have like a pet peeve with nepotism.
Okay.
So, but sometimes it works out. You got Colin Hanks. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I kind of like him. I loved him in that one movie with Jack Black.
Orange County.
Okay. I loved him in that. And he went to my college, by the way, and he dropped out just to do that movie. That sometimes it works. That nepotism works. I like Denzel Washington's son. That's great. No.
Okay.
It's J.J. Abrams' friend who always puts in his movies. He's that fat dude from Heroes. I fucking hate that guy. Because he all of a sudden he's in the Mandalorian
or something.
And you're like,
what is it? Greg Grumberg?
He's in the Mandalorian. He's this fat dude.
He was in
flying.
Heroes. He's
yes. Oh man, I
think it's Greg Grunberg.
He only gets movies because he's J.J. Abrams' friend, and every time you see him, he's like, "I'm so excited to be in this movie because
right.
I'm J.J. Abrams' friend."
I think they were roommates in film school or something.
Now see, like you got Ron Howard's brother.
Yeah,
I love him, but he only gets movies because of his brother, and only in his movies.
Well, then you should hate Sandler's crew.
You know what?
No,
I don't want to talk shit on those guys. I really don't, because like if I had a Sandler and he would give me parts, I'm not going to hate on that.
Yeah, but you would do that if you knew J.J. Abrams too.
You're right. You're right, but that's why I hate it.
Okay,
because I'm not J.J. Abrams' friend.
Well, fuck that. We got to figure get J.J. Abrams on the blower.
The guy's not really doing any acting. I mean, you look. That's why I hate it. You look at him flying that X-wing, and he's just like, I'm on a set.
He is a goofy guy.
Really fun.
He does not have like charisma.
He
He doesn't have that star quality.
No.
He's not a leading man. He's almost
friend.
like a slightly dumber Oliver Platt.
Yes.
Looking guy. I don't know if anyone listens to that or knows that, but he's a dark-haired guy. But yeah, he's definitely.
Those are my two. I'm sure I could go through.
Well, are you just saying
bunch.
that guy, or are you saying him in Star Trek or whatever? Or Star Wars?
Every role.
Because it could be, him in every single role.
Because I hate to hate on him, but I don't think he's a good actor. Anyone can go like this and be like, what? Really?
Yeah.
No way. And then most of the time he's like, I'm in a J.J. Abrams movie.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, act a little bit.
Yeah. He's acting like he, I don't know. He's not even acting like
I'm
he
a little
belongs
bitter
there.
about that. I mean, other than that.
Him and the guy for Progressive are your two guys?
No, just will flow. Flow sucks. And she is a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
And she has been on Mad Men, but they have to totally transform her so that she can get parts, because everyone's like,
Your flow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They just know her from that role.
Yeah, but she's getting paid a shitload of money, so I don't think she cares.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's crying all the way to the bank on that.
Up in Hollywood Hills.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Shay, do you have any questions? Egghead, any more questions?
Not that I can think of.
No,
right
Thomas,
now.
is there anything you'd like to discuss on here? I didn't know if you're plugging anything. You were talking about the helicopters. Do you have any? And then people can find you on your meme page.
I mean, yeah. Don't be too. Don't think that I'm going to be making you laugh too hard. I mean, it is mediocre memes, but it is a.
I disagree. I laughed out loud at him. Mm-hmm. I think they're fine. I think he's being nice.
Yeah.
I mean, if he came on here and was like, I have the greatest memes of all time, he would be a dick.
What's weird is, okay, let me just
He would be that guy that DM'd him.
Absolutely.
I come up with the best and I don't steal any shit.
I have a problem, and it's something that I've had to deal with, I think, since college, but I got a fear of success. Yeah. And it sounds such like a bitch thing to say, a bitchy thing.
No, I understand that.
I get scared of getting big, and so all of a sudden I got this huge. Someone shouted me out on my friend Dougie House. He shouted me out a bunch of times, and I got a shitload of followers. And then all of a sudden I get these celebrities following me, and who are funny. Like Aquafina follows me, and I'm like, why are you following me? You have 21 million. Why are me? And then I'm like. But so then I gotta forget about it, and then it's what makes me laugh. Well, and then I'll just post it. So it's not too much of a. But then I did get sponsored one time, and it felt like work, and it took the fun out of it.
Well, if you're doing it for somebody else with a sponsorship, then it's kind of not yours anymore.
And that's why I hated it.
You're doing it
so that's why I like this Pittsburgh Heli thing, because I actually really think that's an amazing service, and I really like the people over there. So I'm like, I don't care if you give me a free helicopter ride. I'll say something for you, no problem. And it's in Pittsburgh, and
absolutely.
So and then, that's one thing I like to talk about. I think that you become the premier Pittsburgh podcast, and then you're going to get a lot of people going, hey man, you want a hoagie that I have for my shop, and you're going to get sandwiches, and you're going to be here talking, going, man, I really like these sandwiches we got over here, and it'll work out. I mean, I got free shit in the mail because I have a meme account. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, it's cool when that happens, but at the same time, you don't want it to come in like, okay, here's this stuff, and now is it a quality thing? I don't want to say something.
You do want to make money.
Yeah,
right.
I agree. I agree. You have to do it based on, like, exactly like what Thomas said. You have, like, I had to forget about it and I had to do what made me laugh, because you have to remember, you have to remind yourself that you literally got to that point because you did something that made you happy or made you laugh or made you feel
and that's
good.
what I still got to do. But
and that's
I mean,
huge to separate.
I'm on my last warning. Like, I'm going to get deleted. And I'm really surprised I haven't yet, because I've got flagged for hate speech, which I stopped memeing for a while there because it really fucked me up. I posted some stuff that had nothing to do with race or anything. Yeah. But it got flagged because it went against their community guidelines.
Everybody like that. You can't do anything anything anymore. And like
you
said earlier, free
really
comedy.
Took the steam out of me.
Exactly.
You know, I was like, dude, how dare you tell me that I am doing hate speech? What's the definition of that? And I looked into it, and people have sued and gone to court over that. If you accuse someone of hate speech verbally, that's illegal if it's not. But because they're a corporation and it's their platform and they don't pay taxes, then they can call you and say you're hate speech and completely censor
I'm
everything.
sure if you look at the rules and regulations when you agree to come on Instagram, they're essentially saying you can do this, but then if we want to do whatever the fuck we want, we will.
Exactly.
And then if you don't like it, come up with your own Instagram.
And we can turn on the mic on your phone at any time we want, and we can take pictures and look throughout your entire phone. Yeah. And that's legal.
You're right.
Yeah, a lot
it's
of
really
this
scary.
Stuff. It's a brave new world, man.
What was that movie that just? Or I don't. It's not a movie. It's like
Vivo.
No,
I don't know, man. It's #1 on Netflix. My bad for bringing it up. Lin-Manuel Miranda, check it out, man.
Honestly,
he's a god.
Literally, since the last time I was here, I've heard like that about that movie 15,000
times.
Dude,
it's so good.
That's what I've heard.
I love Vivo. It's on Netflix. It's about a bird. It's sad, but Lin-Manuel Miranda does the music.
It's about a bird. It's sad.
I don't want to ruin it. Yeah, man. Well, I don't do that.
That's
if
funny
Netflix wants to pay me, then
because there was two boys who told me that don't watch it, you're gonna cry.
I cry at everything, man.
Sad.
It was sad, but it was happy.
Now I'm depressed.
It's bittersweet, man.
But I do think it's a sign that I should get a bird. Even though I have an iguana now, I think I should also get a bird. Still,
I don't think you should, man.
Birds, dude. They suck. You want to have anxiety? You want to have anxiety? Why don't you hire a little person over there to scream at the top of their lungs randomly all the time?
That's literally me. That's what I do. That bird would be.
You would get
like
into
me.
a screaming match with a bird.
I would.
Just put this out there. I fucking hate birds.
Lose.
Birds?
Have you ever looked at a macaw?
Dude,
they're beautiful.
I remember hearing before some comedian said that if birds were bigger, they would just take over the world. And they're just angry. They're all angry.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I would literally raise this bird to be super sweet and super kind and friendly.
I don't know if
they're angry because all they want to do is get laid. That's all they do. They scream, where's the hose at? That's
it.
So
honestly, it's actually true for that part right there. That's the only thing I'm going to agree with. But
maybe you have to get a bird couple so they can,
well, you got lovebirds. Those are
I forgot the name of the bird, but there's this one at the zoo that looks like Keith Richards. It's got like a really awful beak and this red thing that goes like this and these really big black feathers. They're the most amazing looking bird ever.
Does he have track marks?
Yeah, they do, actually. They do. They look like they smoke Marlboros. They're the coolest.
Chain smoke. I bet a vulture would smoke a Marlboro.
Hornbill. They're a hornbill something.
Those are terrifying.
Yeah, they're cool looking.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a shoebill bird?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Shoebill.
Is that what
we're going to put that up on.
In all black.
They're
my favorite.
Okay,
they're
do you
cool
know
looking.
that shoebills are actually extremely friendly and like they love humans and they interact very well?
I'm sorry I look like this. God makes mistakes.
They look like a witch turned a person into a bird.
Yes.
It's Keith Richards.
You actually have to bow. You have to bow before you address a shoebird. So you have to bow to them. They will bow back, and then you can address them.
And then you got to write a pentagram on the ground and then chant these words.
Do you know? Have you ever heard what the sound that they're
I don't know that
make?
No.
No. So
I've heard the Rolling Stones songs before. I know what it sounds like.
They are also known as like the machine gun bird because whenever they like click their mouth together. They move it really, really super fast, and it literally sounds like a machine gun going off.
Oh, is that why?
It's actually really amazing.
Sorry.
Don't play with me with birds.
I know.
Shoebills are amazing birds.
I don't know that they're amazing.
They're so sweet.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about that one that's like tall and then moves like this. Goes, those are freaky, dude. And then they can like make their eyes look white.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are scary. Yeah, I know. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what is it called?
A hornbill is a thing. So maybe you are talking about
it is.
A shoebill bird's super tall. It's like the size of a human. It's literally
I saw
very
that,
tall.
and it was like greenish or whatever.
But it does, it doesn't have the red on its face though. What Thomas said, so I don't know what that is.
Like
you actually can own a bird, but shoebills there's only like about 5,000 left in those.
Yeah, I was gonna say that seems like if they're at the zoo, you probably can't.
No, they're not at the zoos. They're not at the zoos.
Okay,
no,
I was
they're not
thinking
at
of the
the
one
zoos.
Thomas
Not
was talking
anymore.
about,
They're in
but-
Shay's living room apparently.
Oh, I would have a shoebill bird if I could. There's only 5,000 left of them, so if you give me 2, I will raise plenty.
Okay. Well,
let's start a
work on
petition.
getting 2 shoe bills.
I'm gonna bring my iguana here, though.
Yeah.
I do plan on bringing my iguana here.
Shay, I don't think you need a bird, but
I do.
That's
I
just
have
me.
Maui. Maui, she's my iguana. She's perfect.
oh, okay.
Sweetest
Yeah, that's
thing.
a little bit different. That's
Thomas, let me see.
it looks almost like turkey pink, and then has like a bill with like a hook on, or not a hook, like a nub on it.
Oh, I don't know. Let me.
Usually they have like this black feathery thing and then this big.
I've never
sack
seen that.
That's red.
It has a horn on
I'm
its
not
nose.
about the bird facial sacks.
Yeah, me neither, dude. Like you look at turkeys and you
Yeah.
see it's like blue and.
If
you're
you've
like,
ever
they're really,
looked at a turkey's face in person,
that is proof that God does not exist.
it is pure evil.
God wouldn't
Evil incarnate.
I don't understand. Like a supreme being is like, let's just do this to this thing. When it gets pissed, its sack will get bigger and turn color.
And then we'll eat it once a year.
I don't mean to interrupt, but once we get towards the end of the goodbye, when we're saying goodbye and stuff, I would like for you to ask us to guess where we are.
Oh, okay.
Because we forgot to do
well,
that last
I'll
week.
let you guess right now because I think we're right around the time that we'd like.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that right now we're at 1 hour and 8.
Wow.
I'll say 54 minutes.
Oh, split the difference, you guys. We're right at an hour, like an hour 30 right now.
Okay, so Egghead was closer. 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I was over
If
8.
it was Price is Right rules, then that
Honestly,
I would've
it's fine.
won anyway. So
It's
sorry,
fine.
Shay.
I'm a winner.
That's my ringer to my phone. You know that?
I did know that,
did.
and I know that because Danae brought it up. But I brought it up because we were
Did my
talking.
phone just ring?
I was hoping we would find a reason to bring that up in here and see if you would check your phone.
I thought about it last time, but I forgot about it, and I was like, I want to see if he'll check his phone whenever it goes on.
I just did.
So I'm glad you did that.
Now there's 2 things I want to bring up before we sign off. Next week we plan on doing. I don't know if Egghead will be in studio next week, but we plan on doing a pumpkin beer tasting. I have a guy
I'm
coming in,
very excited.
Mike Angelo. You find him on TikTok, all the social media things. That's his biggest
Absolutely.
thing. He does comedy and stuff like that.
Yes.
He's a funny guy. Hopefully he'll be in here in studio to try some of that. I did that last year and did like 8 or 12 beers.
Right.
I don't really remember the way I did it. It started well and then
Did you
got
finish
convoluted.
the beers?
I blacked
Is that
out.
why you don't remember?
I absolutely
You
fell
blacked
asleep.
out on pumpkin beers?
Dude, no, it wasn't.
That's
That's
hard
how I
blackout.
That's how I ended the day. So I think I pre-gamed.
You worked up
That's
to
how
that.
I ended the 3 days. I
You
think.
worked up to it.
And then one other thing. A local place that I always go to, These Six Packs and Dogs, has
Yes.
just. They had some, I
with
guess,
the great pizza,
and
you
hot
guys.
dogs and everything else. They have great beer food. They have.
Oh, that's the place
they're
with your
awesome.
favorite hot dogs
Yeah,
that
they're
you were
awesome
talking
there.
about. Oh, okay.
They're all awesome there, but I guess they had some damage done, so they are taking donations and stuff to open back up. They're a great place in Regent Square. I highly recommend them when they open back up. Please stop in, but check
taking
them out. They're
donations?
awesome, yeah. And some asshole, I guess, it seems like they took some cardboard boxes and like lit the back of their restaurant on fire.
Yeah, I heard it was a dumpster fire, like
Yeah.
a literal dumpster fire, and then it went into the restaurant
Yeah.
somehow.
How are they taking donations?
I saw it on their Facebook page, so I'm sure if you find them on Facebook
You can
or
take
Instagram or anything like that, but find them D6 Packs and Dogs. They're great people there. They
Yeah.
make great food, and I
You've
highly
talked about
recommend
them numerous.
There's
numerous
also
times.
a Murraysville location that you can go to support them in this time.
Yeah.
If you're really craving some D's, then or in the Murraysville area.
Shay's always craving.
I was
right?
gonna say it, but I wasn't gonna say
I
it.
didn't even think
But
about
I
that.
wanted to say it.
Thomas was saying
Always.
that. No, it's not. It's not a setup. That's what they're called. But yeah. Hopefully they get back on their feet because I'm hungry and they do awesome. So.
Yeah.
But Thomas, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for
Oh my
having me.
gosh, yes,
Yeah,
Thomas,
you were
you're
very-
amazing.
Thank you.
Very
Absolutely
funny.
amazing.
This is my first podcast, by the way.
Oh, good. Good. Wow.
That is so awesome.
You guys
You're
kinda
Brought
very,
the Thomas
Popped
Hyman on
my
the
cherry.
podcast.
How do you
There we
feel
go,
about
man.
that, Egghead?
very knowledgeable.
Just wipe the seat when you get up, man. I want to smell it first. Let's end it on something super weird, man. And everyone
Around the
turned.
table. Pass
And
it
the
around
audience
table.
goes. Yes. Oh, awesome. Egghead, thank you very much. Shay, thank you. Thomas, thank you.
No
For
problem.
everyone.
Thanks for having me.
For Chris, I'm Chris.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We hope you had a good time. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the show to catch the latest episodes and share with your friends. We can't promise not to embarrass you. And if you just can't get enough, follow us on Instagram at Poor Man's Podcast 412, Twitter at Poor Man's Pod 412, and Facebook. This is Pittsburgh's own Poor Man's Podcast, signing off. See you next week.
I did that.